Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our horror convention. Is anyone cold here, or is it just me?
It's cold in here.
I feel like I need a leather jacket like you and a mask like you have one.
Trust me, for you guys right now, being cold, I understand. I would rather be All right, everyone, here we go. So, I'm so excited about this night. I can't even express it. It has been an anniversary, just having you guys here is very thrilling.
Thank you.
So, can you tell me when you guys got these roles and you were talking to Rob Zombie about it, what was going through your mind when he finally said, yes, you guys are the guy who wants to play these roles?
Go ahead.
Hi guys. I'm Robert Mukes. I'm an actor. Like those AA meetings where actors, we're always unemployed, looking for the next role, the next convention. It's a pleasure to be here, guys. For me, and on most of the roles that I've done, the bigger stuff, like House of a Thousand Corpses, it was just basically through an audition. I auditioned, I have an agent, he called me in for an audition. I killed the performance, it's pretty simple, and then I got it. And I didn't meet Rob until we had a wardrobe fitting. So there was really no communication there until I actually booked the role. So that was it for me, kind of simple. Just auditioning. Please hire me. I've got 2 daughters. Please hire me.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I came into it through Rob's makeup artist, who's Wayne Toth, who used to be at K&B Studios. And they had finished the film, and Rob had cut it, gave it to Universal, and they wanted to see more, so they wanted to see the doctor at the end. So they paid for 2 weeks of shooting, and I came in, I was hired through the makeup guy, Wayne, and came in for 3 days and shot one day and saw Rob for maybe a few minutes. He had 2 cameras going at that point for 2 weeks left, and he kind of said, do this, going over there, look at the girl, say this. That was about it. Later I got to know Rob really well and worked on videos with him, and he had me back for other films and stuff, and technically different.
So before I start on my little runs that I always do you guys have questions down there? Because I always like to make sure that the fans have their questions answered before I start going on this crazy trip. Any questions? Raise your hand, don't be shy. We just talked about them being up here and you guys are all excited. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, they're there, I can't believe it's true. Really? Okay.
Alright.
Fine, I will do my thing. So, Dr. Satan.
Yes.
When you actually get into that seat and you're transformed, how long does it take for your prosthetics to actually go? Because you've been in several movies that you've done a lot of prosthetics.
Yes.
Usually you're there for a good 6 to 7 hours with makeup on in the morning, always before the rest of the crew. And then end up sitting around for 10, 12 hours not doing anything until your scene comes out. Being the monster guy, a lot of times that'll be, pretty short scenes. Even Dr. Satan was maybe a minute, So it's a long process, and at the end of the day, it goes another 2 hours, 3 hours getting the stuff off. And it's something you have to kind of have a Zen mentality and just, the way you wear a mask all day, so you know kind of what it's like.
He means when I'm running around and pretending to be somebody else. I have human skin too. I normally I do. I get to wear it myself. Gotcha. So, on the film, this this happens quite often, but was there any particular moments that either one of you gentlemen can remember that you was either almost talked about or did get injured on the set?
Did you what?
Did you ever get injured on the set, or was there a moment where it was very close?
Not for me, not on this movie. Other movies, yes. There's done plenty of monsters where there's a lot of stunts to be done. So I'm either on a tether, flying through the air, being kicked downstairs, or attacked or stabbed with stakes, hit with hammers and chairs. But on this one, no, it was nothing happened.
Robert?
That's a good question. For me, I'm usually the big bad dude throwing people around. I've never had any. I've been very, very lucky. I've never had any close calls or anything. So fortunately, I've never experienced.
You're always on the other end of it.
Yeah, I'm
Torturing
always
someone else,
doing
hurting
the
some other
pain.
actor.
But I went to wrestling school, so I usually on jobs where you have a good stunt coordinator, you're wearing pads on your back, and you're throwing somebody into a padded something, and then there's dirt on top of it, so it's all safe and everything. So, yeah, no, I've never experienced or seen anyone get injured before, and that would be sad though. And I know of it happening, but and a couple of friends of mine have been hurt, but I never witnessed it, or was never on any projects that I've been on. I've been fortunate with that.
Very fortunate.
I have. I worked pre-production on The Crow. I wasn't on set for that, but I worked with Lance Anderson, we built the birds and all his makeups and chess pieces and stuff. So it's somewhat close to one of the most tragic movies. And when I was shooting Demon Knight, the special effects crew on that, they had a dummy that they had to blow up. So they rigged those dummies with a bunch of explosives. Well, they were using hot glue and kicker, and the thing exploded. And both this young kid and the older effects guy both came rolling out of the trailer on fire. And Time Masters, who I was working for, did all the makeup on the show. He was smart enough to not, they were going to throw water on him, and he was smart enough to say, okay. And they blanked it. And they got hurt really bad. That's probably the worst thing I've actually witnessed.
Yeah, so and a lot of people don't realize that, when you're making a movie, sometimes things do happen, so you have to be very careful on things. So thank you for sharing that with us. What was your favorite moments on filming? First, your favorite moment filming. Which scene did you really enjoy? Obviously, without one already, but in House of a Thousand Corpses.
So what was our favorite scene filming in House of a Thousand Corpses? For like all of the roles that I do, my favorite moment is the moment between action and cut. Like, so really, it's, I guess some roles could be boring where you don't have much to say and you're not really doing anything at that particular moment, and some of your colleagues, other actors are engaging more than not, but I'm in the background being a bodyguard or whatever. But it's just always exciting working, man. We just love it, Some jobs are bigger than the others. Some jobs we get a trailer with our name on it, and that's like always so cool. And then
sometimes you're sitting in your car.
Yeah, exactly. and then now, as of late, I've been doing more independent movies. And you're sitting in your car when it's hot outside with the air conditioner on, thinking, oh no, I better make sure this sucker doesn't run high, right? But no, House of a Thousand Corpses, it was just every moment, like when we got to the set, Universal Studios. Did you get to work there? Oh, so we were at Universal Studios. Unfortunately, Walter was shot at a different location. We would have to go through the security gate and check in with the guards and give them our IDs and make sure we were allowed to be there and all that. So I just felt like a movie star. I loved every moment of being there. It felt so cool. So I really can't pick, any particular moment being better than any other. The food was phenomenal. Rob was super cool, laid back. The location, the house, the artwork, everything was just beautiful for horror. So I just had a great time. I don't really, I can't think of anything.
Was it
the
like
other.
a
Yeah, that was fun too. Yeah.
I'm in one scene in the movie, so that's my favorite one. Okay, sorry. There is a scene, if you get the Blu-ray, the extended scenes, deleted scenes, there's a scene with Dr. Satan. Apparently, after somehow they got Dr. Satan into a hospital, because he was in rough shape in the movie, if you remember. And this whole scene is deleted, which is such a tragedy, because it's an amazing scene. I was wondering if you could talk about that a little bit with Rosario Dawson, who also is in Ahsoka. Yeah, y'all know her. And he got to be in the scene with her. Lots of blood, and I'm going to let him describe that scene because it was so great. What was that whole thing like?
That was really fun. It was fun being the character again, and I thought, well, he's going to have more going on in this film. Of course, actually, nothing happened. He got cut out. But we did some shots at a ranch during the rain of the house. You don't really see the doctor in that. And then we did the hospital scene. It was really fun. Rosario Dawson was really into horror movies. She was really excited about doing the scene and doing the blood gag. And Wayne Toth had made this neck for her, which was like 3 stages. So there was sinew underneath, then there was gooey stuff put on that could stretch. Then there was the skin prosthetic, which had finger holes already sculpted in it, so I could get my fingers right in the rubber. Grab the second part of it, but not the third part. So it had to be done once. They weren't going to reset it, redress her, so things like that. If you don't get the shot, usually in special effects, they move on. You don't even get your shot in. So it all worked really well, except for the 4 giant men grabbing my arm and thinking it's a real monster, and you're like, you're going to have to just play this because it's not real. And I can't keep my hand on that neck. It's stripping my hand. So it was really fun, and then afterwards, Rob knew he was going to cut it all, I think, before he even shot it. I think he wanted to do it just to be safe and have something with the first movie, but to have a monster in that story made no sense. So I understand why he cut it out. Funny thing about Rosario, this last job I did at Legacy Effects, they ran all the soccer pieces. So I actually ran the foam. That was my job, running foam latex at Legacy. So I actually ran her headdress for Osaka. Well, she has no idea Dr. Satan, the guy who did that. So that's a weird little connection to her, too.
Did any of you guys have any questions?
There's one right there.
All right.
Hello. I was just wondering, what is your favorite kill from the movie?
From House 1000 Corpses? The one guy I killed, pretty much.
But the Rosario thing was even more fun. That was just a more spectacular effect. And, you got to watch the Blu-ray someday and check out that scene. It's really cool.
What's going on with, I'm sorry, I don't have any questions for you, but I'm fascinated with Dr. Satan. What's going on with your mouth? Did you self-experiment? What was going on with that scene?
That's just artwork. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just a sketch and then a sculpture that...
Because he was a mad scientist, kind of, right? Like just
supposedly he was some brain surgeon who was making an army of madmen.
What scared us?
Yeah, can you reiterate that question?
What was the scariest character in your personal life that freaked you out when you were a kid? She was freaked out by the Crypt Keeper. Did you all, but anybody like that in your
I haven't seen that one, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, I saw that when I was probably 12 years old. We would go to the movie theaters, hang out all day, and like sneak in between movies right before one was over, and sneak out and go into the next door and everything. And so I accidentally snuck into Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was like 12 years old. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm never going to Texas, that's for sure, number one. And Leatherface, it was just amazing how brutal he was with everything. And so for me, the scariest monster person from when I was a kid would be
When you are, you
the
do.
Leatherface.
Because you're not sure if that's when you're a kid, you're not sure if that's a real, if it's like a documentary kind of film.
I
or
totally
not.
thought it was a
Remember being-
documentary.
Yeah.
The way the movie starts off with the news and everything, and all this, and I'm just sitting there, wow, this is awesome. But I'm not going, I'm never going to Texas.
And movies like House of the Thousand Corpses and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it gives you that freaky scare backwoods, like you don't know if those people are out there, and I really don't want to even test the waters. I'll just say the general population.
Yeah. And I grew up on Universal stuff in the 60s when I was a little kid. I watched all those when I was really young. And they were merchandised like crazy in the 60s, so it was like my whole world. But Wolfman was probably the scariest one of all those guys to me, for some reason. Yeah. But I loved all of those guys.
Yeah, that's great.
You know.
Good question.
Oh, we have a question. Good. I was about to start talking. Yeah. We'll keep this moving regardless.
What's the most fun genre to act in?
That's fun you've ever had. Most fun genre to have.
The most fun I've had in a movie? Probably Demon Knight. I was pretty new to everything at that point, and I was really excited to be in a Tales from the Crypt movie, and all the stuff that we were making at the shop I worked at Todd Masters was awesome, and we were just making cool effects and slimy monsters, and I hadn't done a whole lot on the other side of the camera yet, so that was probably the most fun I've ever had. Later, once you know everything and you've done it 100 times, it gets less and less fun as the years go on. But that was the most fun experience I've ever had, pretty much.
He gets a little desensitized.
Yeah, you do.
Keep doing it over and over. Once again, back to that boring response of it's just always fun to the moments between action and cut. There's more emotions is what I was going to say. I think. More emotions with horror because someone's a victim. So you're pretending to be this creepy, nasty, dark guy, and then someone's like pleading to you not to hurt them. Yeah, I think that's kind of entertaining. And then comedy. I've been on some really funny comedies, and it's always fun it's challenging not to laugh when it's so funny around you and you're the big heel. And oh my God, he's so big, and then all these other funny statements, and you're standing there being all stiff when you want to laugh about the joke and the characters that are performing around you. That's kind of fun, but challenging as well. So yeah, I don't know. This is always fun to work.
So let me ask you guys this real quick. If you could literally do any movie and play any part in it, which one would it be? The sky's the limit. It doesn't matter what it is.
Well, my favorite creature suit is Creature from the Black Lagoon, so to me, to do that again would be awesome. I would love that. I'm a little close to it. I worked on, what was that? What was it? Shape of Water. So I worked on Shape of Water, working on that suit for Doug Jones. That's about as close as I've gotten to the Creature from the Black Lagoon. So that was very fun.
Which is pretty close. That was a beautiful movie.
Yes. Yeah, and a great movie.
Won some Oscars and everything. When I was younger, when I first started acting and had more time to exercise all the time and all that good business, I used to dream of being in a Marvel movie and fighting Spider-Man or Batman or whatever like that. But time has expired. I've learned how politically connected everything is, and I don't know. I still kind of hope for that. My girls are getting a little bit older, more independent, so I'm hoping to spend more time in the gym as I walk up here with candy. Once I start eating sugar, it's such a depressing scene because I just keep eating it. But I would love to fight Spider-Man in a movie and all the special effects with that stuff and the excitement of all that. And the big budget game, that would be phenomenal.
Just put rubber muscles on you like they do for all those other guys anyways.
That's true.
They're all wearing rubber muscles.
Right?
I could see that. I could see that happening. Maybe it's like the return of the creature from the Black Lagoon comes up, Spider-Man comes to take it
There you
on,
go.
and hit the big guy, like maybe another version of his friend. He's like, I'm revenging my brother for you killing him. We'll come up with something.
See, it writes itself.
Yeah, it does, honestly.
We'll come up with something.
So do we have any other questions for them?
Last chance. Any questions? Got one. Hang on, I've got one.
Good.
Who has been your favorite director in the work?
Rob Zombie. He was super laid back and cool. And sometimes as a villain, and some of the monsters I've been, etc., I like having a weapon in hand, like a gun, whatever, an axe or something. And often, no, Josiah, you wouldn't have a gun. I'm like, well, can I have a hammer or give me something, right? No, you're just a big, strong, badass dude. And with Rob, I had a suggestion of having a gun. He's like, that's a great idea, Rob. You're going to have the sheriff's gun. You just tuck it in your belt. I'm like, perfect. Thank you. And then when I threw one of the bunnies into the graveyard, I'm like, Rob, do you think I can spit on him after I throw him in? He's like, man, that's a good idea, Rob. Do it. So Rob Zombie was just so laid back, and whatever idea you had to make the character dirtier, villain in a horror movie, he was like, that's great. Now that I've been acting longer, I would have had way more ideas now. Spit around, maybe get some chewing tobacco and just be a disgusting motherfucker. But he was so kind and generous with your ideas and accepting of the fact that you had an idea for the scene. So that was great. We really enjoyed that aspect. I've done some panels with Bill and Sid, and they say the same thing. That Rob was super cool, and whatever idea that you have that enhances the character, he was down for you doing it. I don't think he said no to anything. So Rob Zombie would be my favorite, actually.
Yeah, I agree. He's a cool guy to work for, and open and collaborative, and he's just a really cool artist. Another guy I really like is William Malone, and he did House on Haunted Hill remake, Scared. It's a 70s alien movie, Scared to Death, I think, and an independent film, Parasomnia. I worked for him a bunch of times, and he's really inventive with his camera and does lots of backwards things, and he's just really fun to work with. But Rob is a cool dude.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
So, what was it like on the different sets? Like, me, I'm really big about, the aesthetic and looking at things and, walking into a set and just seeing everything come to life. It's like just the wow factor. So, what was it actually like being there versus, seeing it on TV?
It was beautiful. That's a good question. Yeah, the artwork, the art direction, that's the term. The art direction of House of a Thousand Corpses is phenomenal. Rob's an artist. He had that show on MTV, and he's doing all the artwork. They really took a lot of time to prep for our movie that we're fortunate enough to be in. And so I love that sound. That reminds me of The Walking Dead. Like the first season in the hospital or whatever. I think they had that going on. Yesterday, I was like, that is so cool. But the art direction, the house where it had all those baby dolls on the wall, and inside the house was beautiful. The liquor store, there's one the backdrop that I have, it's got this little where he wrote in liquor in the front, poker in the rear. It's just there's like little, what do you call it? Donuts, cupcakes, treasures everywhere. Easter eggs.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere in House of a Thousand Corpses, there's little Easter eggs everywhere. So, it's just all beautiful, the lighting and everything. We're super lucky to be in the movie and come over here and be a part of this show. We really appreciate you guys digging the horror movies. Like, if you guys didn't like it as much, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be going to Baltimore to shoot a movie. They got a discount because I was in the neighborhood here, so that worked out fantastic for me. It's happened a few times in my endeavors of signing autographs and doing independent movies. So once again, we really appreciate you guys, and not that I'm wrapping it up, but I think we're getting close to the end.
No, it sounds like it. One more.
Oh, goddammit, I said that was the end.
I got one more. For Rufus. Every time I watch House of a Thousand Corpses, I kind of hope they get away. You know, you ever watch a movie and you're hoping it ends a little different, but it never does. I feel like there was a real chance that they could have escaped if they'd have just not insulted baby during the whole show.
No, they were assholes. They needed to die.
But what I was wondering, Rufus, is why did you fix their car if you're just going to kill them anyway?
Yeah, I hate to sound like a softie, but I like cats over dogs because you can travel, leave some food for the motherfucker, get a couple of litter boxes, and you're good for 3 or 4 days, right? They come back, they're a little shitty with you before you know it, they're back on your lap. So, if you've ever noticed a cat hunting, and I like watching videos of animals in the wild, they catch their prey and have a little fun with them. Maybe let them take a couple steps away and get that motherfucker again. And I kind of think that was the gist of fixing their car. Let them have a little, let's enjoy their sense of freedom that they may think they have here for a moment, and take it away, brutally take it away. So I think that was the point of that in the film, and it made for great entertainment. Maybe you thought they were going to get away from it. And the sound of the soundtrack or the scoring of that was just awesome. I think the scoring of House of a Thousand Corpses is so cool. And the dialogue and Karen Black and Sid and everything. It's just, and Bill, of course. It's just cool dialogue, and the scoring is just amazing. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on why I fixed the tire.
Well, everyone, let's give a round of applause. And remember, if you guys want to get to know them more, and you have some questions that you are too scared to ask with the live audience, you can actually go and see them over here. They are over on this side. They'll be signing autographs, get to know people, taking photos with them. Okay? They're really nice people. Go and talk to them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out, guys. We appreciate you.